Have you ever wondered what your body is quietly telling you after 70? It's not just about aches and wrinkles. Science shows that your daily habits, how you walk, sleep, eat, even how you hold a conversation can reveal more about your life expectancy than any blood test. According to the National Institute on Aging and Harvard Medical School, simple behaviors like walking speed and grip strength have been directly linked to longevity in older adults. That means your body is already sending clues, if you know where to look. In today's video, I'm going to walk you through 9 clear research-backed signs that doctors use to predict healthy aging and what they say about your own future. But before we dive in, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Senior Life, because staying informed is one of the best ways to stay young. Now here's the first sign you should pay attention to. You walk fast and steadily. It might sound surprising, but yes, your walking speed can predict how long you'll live, sometimes even more accurately than your cholesterol numbers. That's not just theory, it's backed by science. In a major meta-analysis published in JAMA Journal of the American Medical Association in 2011, researchers analyzed data from over 34,000 adults, aged 65 and older, across 9 cohort studies in the U.S. They found a clear trend: individuals who walked at speeds of 1.0 meter per second, or faster, about 3.6 km/h, or 2.2 mph, had a significantly higher survival rate, regardless of gender, age, or underlying health conditions. More impressively, each 0.1 ms increase in walking speed was linked to a 12% reduction in mortality risk. But why does walking speed matter so much? Because walking isn't just about your legs. It's a full-body activity that reflects how well your major systems, heart, lungs, muscles, joints, brain, and even your balance system vestibular function are working together. According to the National Institute on Aging, NIA, walking speed serves as a real-time integrated signal of overall vitality. When it slows, it can be the earliest warning sign of underlying frailty. To put it in perspective, people walking slower than 0.6 paus form. 1. 3 ms are considered at high risk for hospitalization, falls, functional decline, and even early cognitive impairment, as noted in studies published by the Journal of Geriatric Physical Therapy. A 2020 study in The Lancet Healthy Longevity found that slow gait speed was one of the top 3 predictors of all-cause mortality in seniors, even ahead of blood pressure and BMI. This isn't just happening in the U.S. In Japan, which boasts one of the world's highest life expectancies, walking speed has been formally integrated into geriatric health screenings. Their government guidelines state that a walking speed of less than 1.0 ms is associated with higher frailty risk and recommend interventions accordingly. The UK's NHS National Health Service uses similar measures in its comprehensive geriatric assessments, especially when evaluating fall risk or suspected early dementia. So what does all this mean for you? If you're over 65, don't ignore how fast or slow you're walking. You don't need fancy machines or high-tech apps. Just grab a stopwatch, mark out 4 meters, about 13 feet, and time yourself walking at your normal pace. If it takes you more than 6.7 seconds, that's under 0. 6 ms time to talk to your doctor. If it takes you 4 seconds or less, that's over 1.0 ms. Keep doing what you're doing. So what should you actually do with all this information? First, start by simply paying attention to how you walk. Don't overthink it. Just notice. Are you shuffling your feet more than usual? Taking smaller steps. Do you ever feel a little wobbly when turning or stopping? These little red flags often sneak up slowly, but they matter. According to the CDC, 1 out of 4 Americans over 65 falls each year, and many of those falls are linked to weakened gait and balance. Next, And this is the game changer: make walking a daily habit. You don't need a fancy gym or perfect weather. Just lace up your shoes and head out for a brisk 20-30-minute walk. That's it. Research from the American Heart Association shows that regular walking can slash your risk of heart disease, stroke, and type 2 diabetes by up to 35%, and even cut the risk of dementia by nearly 30%. Plus, it boosts mood, reduces anxiety, and helps with sleep. All wins, especially as we get older. And here's the best part: you can track your progress at home. All you need is a tape measure and a timer. Mark out a 4-meter stretch, about 13 feet. Walk at your normal, comfortable pace. If it takes you more than 5 seconds, that's under 0.8 meters per second, which could mean it's time to chat with your doctor. If you're at 4 seconds or less, congratulations, you're walking at a healthy pace. Don't stress if you're not there yet. It's not a race. But this little walk test is like a free health checkup you can do anytime. Make it part of your morning routine, like brushing your teeth or checking the weather. The second sign is just as clear. You have a strong grip strength. It might sound like something out of a wellness magazine, but the science is real and solid. Grip strength is now considered one of the most reliable, low-cost indicators of aging health. A massive international study published in The Lancet 2015, involving over 139,000 participants across 17 countries, found that for every 5 kilogram, 11-pound decrease in grip strength, the risk of dying from any cause rose by 16%. That includes heart disease, stroke, respiratory illness, even cancer. And here's the kicker: grip strength was a better predictor of mortality than systolic blood pressure. Why does grip strength matter so much? Because it's not just a measure of hand muscles. It reflects the health and coordination of multiple systems: your muscular system, nervous system, circulation, and even brain function. When grip strength declines, it's often the first visible sign of sarcopenia, age-related muscle loss, or early frailty. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH low grip strength is also tied to a higher risk of falls, hospitalization, cognitive decline, and poor recovery after surgery. In fact, seniors with weak grip strength are more likely to be readmitted to the hospital within 30 days of discharge. Let me give you a real-life example. My patient, Barbara Lewis, 81, is a retired teacher from Michigan. Sharp as a tack mentally, but she started noticing she couldn't open jars, struggled with zippers, and felt her hands just didn't have the same snap. We used a grip dynamometer and found her strength had dropped to 15 kilo below the healthy average for women her age, which is around 18-22 kilowars. Over the next few months, with resistance bands, hand exercises, and better protein intake, she regained 4 kilo of grip strength. Not only did her hand strength improve, but her balance stabilized, her sleep got deeper, and she said, "I feel like myself again." Globally, countries like Canada, Japan, and the UK have adopted grip strength testing as part of routine geriatric assessments. In Japan, it's even used as a key metric to detect frailty in the national long-term care system. Now let's talk about something most people don't think about until it's already a problem: your grip strength. If you've ever struggled to open a jar, hold onto a coffee mug, or felt unsure reaching for the handrail on the stairs, that's your body quietly asking for help. It's not just about having weak hands. Studies show that declining grip strength is strongly linked to loss of independence, higher fall risk, and even shorter life expectancy. So what can you do? First, test it. You don't need any fancy machines. Try squeezing a tennis ball or a can of soda. If it feels harder than it used to, that's a sign your muscle strength and possibly your overall coordination is fading. Doctors often use hand grip dynamometers in clinics, but you can get a rough idea at home. Second, start training gently. Keep a soft therapy ball nearby to squeeze a few times a day. Use light dumbbells or even water bottles to do wrist curls and simple forearm exercises. Practice opening jars or twisting towel cloths to mimic real-life movements. And here's a tip from years of working with older patients: don't underestimate small, consistent effort. Just 10 minutes a day of light hand and arm movement can rebuild confidence and function. The key isn't intensity, it's repetition. Also, don't forget nutrition. Muscle needs fuel. The latest guidelines from the National Institute on Aging suggest that older adults should aim for 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight each day to maintain muscle mass. For a 150-pound person, that's roughly 68 to 82 grams of protein daily. Spread it throughout your meals a little with breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Let's move on to the third sign. You have good balance. It sounds strange, but the science is real. Balance isn't just about preventing falls. It's a powerful signal of how well your brain muscles and nerves are aging together. In 2022, researchers in Brazil published a groundbreaking study in the British Journal of Sports Medicine that tracked 1,002 middle-aged and older adults for 7 years. They found that people unable to balance on one foot for at least 10 seconds had a near doubling of all-cause mortality risk, even when controlling for age, BMI, and chronic diseases like diabetes or hypertension. In other words, failing this simple test wasn't just about weak legs, it was a marker of accelerated aging. From a medical standpoint, good balance requires coordination across multiple systems: your inner ear vestibular system for spatial awareness, muscle strength, especially in the legs and core vision, and neuromotor signaling between the brain and body. As these systems weaken with age, balance becomes harder, and it often declines silently. The Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC, reports that 1 in 4 Americans over age 65 falls each year, and 1 in 5 of those falls leads to serious injury, like broken bones or head trauma. Worse yet, falls are the leading cause of injury-related death in this age group. The impact isn't just physical. Falls are linked to loss of independence, fear of movement, and even depression. The good news: balance can be trained, and often it improves faster than you think. According to Harvard Health Publishing, just 15-20 minutes of balance-focused activity each day can strengthen your reflexes, improve coordination, and even boost brain health. Why brain health? Because good balance isn't just physical. It requires your brain, eyes, inner ear muscles, and joints to all communicate in real time. When that communication weakens, your risk of falling and suffering serious injury goes way up. So how do you train balance without feeling like you're in a gym class? You start small and make it part of daily life. Try heel-to-toe walking across your living room like you're on a tightrope. Stand on one foot while brushing your teeth or waiting for your coffee to brew. Join a gentle Tai Chi or chair yoga class, either online or at your local community center. Want a quick home test? Take off your shoes, stand near a table or sturdy chair, and lift one foot just 1 inch 2 to 3 centimeters off the floor. Can you hold it for more than 10 seconds without wobbling or grabbing for support? Great, your neuromuscular system is still holding strong, struggling to make it past 5 seconds. That's your cue to start building up balance now, not after a fall. Don't wait for a wake-up call. Balance isn't something you just lose with age. It's something you can protect and rebuild with a little attention and daily care. Start today. Your feet and your future self will thank you. This fourth sign is easier to evaluate. You sleep well and deeply. Still think waking up 5 times a night is just part of getting older? Think again. It might be costing you your memory, your heart health, and even your independence. Sleep isn't just rest, it's repair. And for older adults, especially those over 70, it becomes a vital sign of health, not just a lifestyle choice. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH consistent poor sleep in seniors is linked to a 33% higher risk of cognitive decline, a 50% increased risk of high blood pressure, and up to twice the risk of developing depression compared to those with deep restorative sleep. But here's the thing, it's not just about how long you sleep, it's about how well. A study from Harvard Medical School found that adults who sleep between 6, 5 and 8 hours per night with minimal awakenings and no severe sleep apnea had significantly lower rates of Alzheimer's heart disease and weakened immune response. During sleep, the brain flushes out toxins through the glymphatic system, a process that's 10 times more active at night than during the day. And the numbers don't lie. According to the Sleep Foundation, nearly 48% of adults over 65 report some form of insomnia or sleep disruption. Many accept it as normal aging. But in reality, fragmented sleep can impair everything from memory consolidation to balance and coordination, raising the risk of falls and hospitalizations. Here's something most people underestimate. Sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's one of your body's strongest immune boosters. A groundbreaking study from UC San Francisco found that people who sleep less than 6 hours a night are over 4 times more likely to catch a cold compared to those who sleep 7 hours or more. Even more concerning, their immune response to vaccines like the flu shot was significantly weaker. In other words, without enough deep restorative sleep, your body struggles to protect you. But what exactly counts as good sleep? You don't need a fancy sleep tracker. Just ask yourself, do you fall asleep within 20 minutes? Do you wake up no more than once or twice during the night? Do you wake up feeling clear-headed, not foggy or groggy? Are you not snoring loudly or gasping for air during sleep? If that doesn't sound like you don't panic, you're not alone. But it does mean your sleep might need some fine-tuning. The good news: sleep is a skill you can train just like building muscle. With a few simple changes, your body can relearn how to rest deeply. Start here. Keep your bedroom cool, dark, and quiet. A room temperature around 65 degrees. 18 degrees is ideal for most people. Avoid caffeine after noon. It may still linger in your system hours later, messing with your ability to fall asleep. Stick to a regular sleep schedule even on weekends. Your brain thrives on routine. Wind down without screens. Instead of scrolling your phone, try reading a book, stretching gently, or taking a warm bath. You don't have to fix everything overnight, but every small change helps. Better sleep isn't a luxury. It's your body's nightly reboot for your heart, your brain, your mood, and yes, your immune system. So tonight, treat sleep like the priority it truly is. Your future self will thank you. The fifth sign is easy to recognize in older adults. You still have a good appetite and aren't losing weight unexpectedly. After 70, maintaining a steady weight and a healthy appetite isn't just about digestion. It's a reflection of your immune system, muscle mass, brain health, and even your mood. According to the National Institutes of Health, NIH, if you lose more than 5% of your body weight over 6 to 12 months without trying, that's a red flag. It could be an early sign of malnutrition, early-stage dementia, depression, or in some cases even underlying cancer. And here's the kicker: you don't have to be underweight to be malnourished. In fact, studies show that up to 27% of Americans over age 65 are either malnourished or at high risk, even if they look like they're eating okay. One major issue, loss of appetite, is often brushed off as just part of aging. But that assumption can be dangerous. The Mayo Clinic warns that when seniors stop enjoying food or skip meals regularly, it increases the risk of falls infections, slower healing muscle loss, and even hospital readmissions. Even more alarming, a global study published in Clinical Nutrition found that older adults who lost their sense of appetite had a 45% higher risk of death within 5 years compared to those who continued to eat well. That's not a small number, and it's not something we should ignore. A balanced, consistent diet is more powerful than most people realize, especially after 70. When you're eating well, your body can rebuild muscle boost immune function, heal wounds faster, and even keep your brain sharp. One key protein. Older adults who get 1.0 to 1.2 grams of protein per kilogram of body weight per day are less likely to suffer from age-related muscle loss, known as sarcopenia, and they recover more quickly after illness or injury. But that's not the whole story. Hydration matters just as much. The CDC recommends that seniors drink at least 6 to 8 cups of fluid daily, yet many fall short. Why? Because thirst signals weaken with age. Add in diuretics medications or limited mobility, and dehydration can sneak up fast. So how can you tell if you or someone you love might be dealing with undernutrition or dehydration? Watch for these signs. Unintentional weight loss, even without dieting. Skipping meals, especially breakfast. Getting full after just a few bites. Clothes fitting looser dentures feeling too big or loose. Fatigue, low mood, or unusual confusion. These might seem minor at first, but together they paint a clear picture the body isn't getting what it needs. The good news: appetite can come back with the right approach. Here's what helps: eat small meals every 3 to 4 hours. Don't wait to feel hungry, stay ahead of it. Include at least one protein source at every meal: eggs, lean meats, tofu beans, or dairy. Drink fluids regularly, even if you don't feel thirsty. Water, herbal teas, broth, it all counts. Create a pleasant eating space, open the blinds, turn on soft music, and avoid screens like the TV. Distraction reduces taste and enjoyment. Eating well isn't just about filling your plate, it's about fueling your body, your mind, and your independence. A good meal can be healing, comforting, and yes, even joyful. So if you or a loved one has lost interest in food, don't write it off. Start small, stay consistent, and remember, nourishment is care. The 6th sign is crucial for your mental well-being, and every senior should take it seriously. You know how to manage stress. Chronic stress doesn't just wear you down emotionally, it breaks you down physically. According to the American Psychological Association, APA, prolonged stress in older adults increases the risk of heart disease by 40%, stroke by 50%, and dementia by nearly 30%. These numbers are not just abstract statistics. They reflect how constant cortisol exposure, the body's stress hormone, can damage. Blood vessels impair memory, weaken the immune system, and even accelerate cellular aging through shortening of telomeres, the protective caps on your DNA. But here's the good news. Stress isn't something you have to eliminate entirely. You just need to learn how to respond to it better. According to a major study from Harvard Medical School, older adults who practiced daily stress management, whether through meditation, breathing exercises, writing, or mindful hobbies, experienced 24% lower rates of cognitive decline, better cardiovascular health, and fewer doctor visits per year. Let me tell you about my patient, Walter Harris. 78, a widowed veteran from Colorado. After his wife passed, Walter started experiencing panic attacks and couldn't sleep. He refused medication at first, so we tried another path. I introduced him to a simple mindfulness routine. 10 minutes of slow breathing and journaling every morning. We paired it with afternoon walks and light Tai Chi. Within 6 weeks, his resting heart rate dropped by 12 points, his blood pressure stabilized, and he reported fewer mental fog days. Walter told me I can't control what happens, but now I don't let it ruin me. Globally, the World Health Organization, WHO, warns that untreated stress in older adults is a silent driver of poor aging outcomes, leading to increased fall risk, faster functional decline, and poorer immune recovery. Stress also directly impacts sleep cycles, digestion inflammation, and wound healing critical issues for anyone over 70. The National Institute on Aging NIA adds that one of the strongest predictors of longevity isn't just physical fitness, it's emotional resilience. People who maintain a positive mindset and practice active coping strategies are more likely to live past 85 with fewer chronic conditions and higher life satisfaction. Sometimes the most powerful ways to protect your health don't come in a pill bottle. They start with how you breathe, move, create, and connect. As we age, managing stress and emotional well-being becomes just as important as taking care of the body. Chronic stress raises cortisol, weakens immunity, and makes it harder to sleep, eat, or stay motivated. The good news: there are simple, no-cost ways to calm the nervous system and bring balance back to your day. Here are a few that work wonders. Deep breathing techniques like the 4-7-8 method: inhale for 4 seconds, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Or box breathing: inhale, hold, exhale, hold, in equal 4-second counts, can quickly quiet the mind and lower blood pressure. Try it before bed or when you feel overwhelmed. Gentle movement such as Tai Chi yoga or mindful walking isn't just exercise, it's therapy in motion. These activities help clear mental fog, lift mood, and improve balance at the same time. Creative hobbies like painting, gardening, knitting, or journaling are more than pastimes. Studies show they reduce cortisol and boost dopamine, the brain's feel-good chemical. Even 10 minutes a day makes a difference. Social connection is perhaps the most underrated medicine. Call a friend. Chat with your neighbor. Join a senior group at your local library, church, or community center. Loneliness is silent but dangerous, and just one meaningful conversation a day can brighten your week. These aren't luxuries, they're lifelines. And they remind us that caring for your health means caring for your whole self, body, mind, and heart. The 7th sign: you maintain active social connections. According to the Harvard Study of Adult Development, one of the longest and most respected longitudinal studies in the world, the #1 predictor of longevity and life satisfaction isn't cholesterol levels, money, or career success. It's the quality of your relationships. This study has followed participants for over 85 years, and its key conclusion is clear: people who maintain strong, supportive social connections live longer, healthier lives. On the flip side, social isolation and chronic loneliness are now recognized as serious health risks, especially for people over 65. The CDC reports that chronic loneliness is associated with 29% increased risk of heart disease, 32% increased risk of stroke, and 50% higher risk of developing dementia. The World Health Organization, WHO, now classifies loneliness as a global public health concern and estimates that 1 in 3 older adults globally experience some level of social isolation. And it's not just emotional, it's biological. Loneliness triggers the release of cortisol, the stress hormone which increases inflammation, weakens immune response, and raises blood pressure. It also reduces the production of oxytocin, a neurochemical tied to feelings of trust and bonding. Long-term isolation has been linked to faster cognitive decline, poor sleep quality, higher risk of hospitalization, and even early death. I think of my patient Marie Thomas, 79, a retired nurse from Minnesota. After her 2 children moved across the country and her husband passed away, she told me her days felt gray. She wasn't eating much, skipped her water aerobics class, and stopped responding to text messages. A routine checkup showed a 7-pound weight loss, borderline depression, and increased blood pressure. I gently suggested she try attending a local senior art group twice a week. 2 months later, Marie was back in my office, not just for a checkup, but to show me her latest watercolor painting. She was smiling again. Her vitals had improved, and more importantly, she felt like herself again. Connection doesn't require a big social circle. Just having 1 or 2 meaningful relationships, someone to talk to, share memories with, or lean on during hard times, makes a huge difference. According to the National Institute on Aging, older adults who are socially engaged have better physical health, stronger immune systems, and lower levels of depression and anxiety. There's one health threat that doesn't show up on blood tests, but it can be just as dangerous as high blood pressure or diabetes. It's called social isolation, and for older adults, it can sneak in quietly and do serious harm over time. How do you know if you or someone you love might be affected? Here are some red flags. You go days without having a real conversation with anyone. You feel like you're invisible or that you don't belong anywhere. Things you once enjoyed, music, gardening, walking, just don't feel the same. You avoid texting, calling, or reaching out because you think, I don't want to bother anyone. These feelings are more common than you think, and they matter. According to the CDC, chronic loneliness is linked to higher risks of heart disease, stroke, depression, cognitive decline, and even early death. But the good news is, there's something you can do about it. Here are a few small, gentle ways to reconnect, reach out regularly, even just 5 minutes a day. A short phone call, a voice message, or even a quick thinking of you text can remind someone and yourself that connection is still there. Join a group that shares your interests. Whether it's a book club, knitting circle, walking group, or church class, showing up even once a week can lift your spirits. Call someone from your past. A cousin, an old neighbor, a friend from high school. They might be waiting to hear from you, too. Try volunteering. Helping others at a local food bank, animal shelter, or senior center gives you purpose, structure, and a reason to get out of the house. And it works both ways. When you show up for someone else, you show up for yourself, too. The 8th sign. You're not experiencing cognitive decline, and your memory remains sharp. Still remembering names, appointments, or how to navigate your smartphone. That's not just a nice perk of aging. It's a powerful sign your brain is holding strong. As we age, some forgetfulness is completely normal, like misplacing keys or needing a moment to recall a name. But when memory remains sharp and mental tasks stay manageable, it means your brain is still firing on all cylinders, which research shows is directly linked to longer life, greater independence, and better overall health. According to the National Institute on Aging, NIA, cognitive health is one of the top 5 pillars of successful aging. Older adults who retain their executive function, attention span, and memory are far more likely to live independently, manage medications properly, avoid injuries, and recover faster from illness or surgery. On the other hand, the Alzheimer's Association reports that roughly 1 in 9 Americans over 65 already lives with Alzheimer's or another form of dementia, and nearly 1 in 3 over age 85 is affected. Worldwide dementia affects over 55 million people, and that number is expected to double every 20 years, according to the World Health Organization, WHO. The science is clear. Keeping your mind active is one of the best ways to protect it. Activities like reading, journaling, doing crossword puzzles, or learning new skills can actually delay the onset of dementia by up to 5 years, especially in people at higher risk. That's not just hope, that's research. Exercise plays a big role, too. A 2022 study published in JAMA Neurology found that older adults who exercised moderately, about 150 minutes a week, had significantly larger hippocampus volume. That's the part of the brain in charge of memory compared to those who were sedentary. In other words, moving your body protects your brain. But how do you know if it's just normal aging or something more serious? Here are some early warning signs of possible cognitive decline. Struggling to follow conversations or losing track mid-sentence. Forgetting recent events but remembering stories from decades ago. Repeating the same question multiple times in one day. Getting lost in familiar places or putting objects in odd spots. These signs don't mean a diagnosis, but they do mean it's time to take action. The good news, when detected early, you can slow the progression and even improve day-to-day memory. Tools like the mini-cog or MOSI-A test can spot subtle changes before they disrupt daily life, and they're often available at your local clinic or senior center. So what can you do right now to support your brain? Learn something new each day. Read the newspaper, pick up a new hobby, or try learning a few new words. Move your body. Walking, gentle stretching, or light dancing like Tai Chi all get blood flowing to the brain. Prioritize sleep, especially deep sleep, which helps the brain flush out toxins linked to cognitive decline. Stay connected. Talk to friends, join a group call. A family member socializing keeps your brain engaged. Eat for your brain. Load up on leafy greens, fatty fish, berries, nuts, and olive oil, all linked to better memory and slower aging. You don't need a perfect memory to live a meaningful, independent life. But a little daily effort now can help protect the memories that matter most. The 9th sign's one I consider absolutely essential. You actively go for regular health checkups and follow your treatment plans. If you're getting your labs done on time, checking your blood pressure regularly, and following your doctor's advice, then you're already doing one of the smartest things for your future self. Preventive care isn't just about catching something early. It's one of the strongest predictors of healthy aging and long-term independence. According to the Centers for Disease Control and Prevention, CDC adults over 70 who attend regular checkups and follow chronic disease management plans have up to 40% fewer hospitalizations, 35% fewer emergency visits, and significantly lower risk of complications related to heart disease, diabetes, and stroke. Chronic illnesses are incredibly common in older adults. The National Council on Aging NCOA reports that 80% of people over 65 have at least one chronic condition and 68% have 2 or more. The most common include high blood pressure arthritis, heart disease, diabetes, and chronic kidney disease. What's consistent across all of them, outcomes improve dramatically when patients take an active role in monitoring and managing their conditions. Take, for example, routine blood pressure checks. The American Heart Association found that consistent blood pressure control reduces stroke risk by 30% to 40%, heart attack risk by 20% to 25%, and lowers the likelihood of developing heart failure. And for patients with type 2 diabetes, studies published in JAMA show that those who maintain regular A1C testing and attend follow-up visits have 50% fewer complications, including neuropathy, vision loss, and kidney failure. One of my patients, Eleanor Wells, 78, a retired librarian from Oregon, is a perfect case study. She has high cholesterol and mild osteoarthritis. For years, she skipped appointments thinking I feel fine, so why go? That changed after a minor fall turned into a hospital stay. Now Eleanor checks in every 6 months, gets her bone density scanned yearly, and follows her physical therapy routine like clockwork. Her mobility has improved, and her LDL cholesterol dropped 25 points in a year without changing medication, just by staying on track with care and diet. Globally, the World Health Organization (WHO) emphasizes that regular screenings and preventive checkups can add 5 to 10 years of disability-free life for older adults, especially when combined with lifestyle interventions like diet, exercise, and mental wellness. Yet, despite the benefits, many seniors still skip appointments due to transportation issues, cost concerns, or fear of bad news. So what should older adults focus on during checkups? The CDC recommends the following for adults over 70: blood pressure every 3 to 6 months monthly, if uncontrolled. Cholesterol and glucose, A1C, at least once a year. Kidney and liver function, every 6 to 12 months. Vision and hearing tests every 1 to 2 years. Bone density screening every 2 years, especially for women. Cancer screenings, colorectal, breast, prostate, based on risk factors. Vaccines, flu annually. Shingles, pneumonia, COVID-19, booster. But checkups are only part of the story. Adherence to treatment plans, taking medications as prescribed, following dietary guidance, and tracking symptoms can cut risks in half in many chronic conditions. Yet the World Health Organization estimates that only about 50% of patients worldwide adhere fully to long-term therapy, often due to confusion cost or forgetting doses. To improve this, simple tools help: pill organizers or blister packs, setting alarms or phone reminders, keeping a health notebook with test results and questions for the doctor, bringing a family member or caregiver to appointments. So let's take a moment and reflect. How many of these 9 signs do you see in yourself? Can you walk with ease? Sleep through the night? Hold a steady conversation or a firm grip? Are you staying socially connected, handling stress with grace, and keeping up with your health checkups? These may seem like small things, but together they tell a powerful story about your future. And here's the truth. It's never too late to make a change. Whether you're 70, 80, or 90, your body is still listening to what you do today. So be kind to it. Feed it well. Move it often. Rest it deeply. And most importantly, don't go through this journey alone. I'd love to hear from you. Which of these signs are you proud of? Which one do you want to work on starting today? If this video helped you or someone you love, please take a second to like, share, and subscribe to Senior Life, where we turn simple habits into powerful tools for healthy aging.